Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the developmental biology or embryology, and under this we are going to discuss about the gametogenesis. So first let's know what is this developmental biology or embryology. It is the branch of biology which deals with the development of animals. So long as the developing animal is inside the egg, it is called as embryo. Therefore, the term embryogenesis or embryogeny may be defined as formation and development of embryos, and it includes all the changes by which a fertilized egg is transformed into an adult. So, in this transformation process, gametogenesis is the part, and after that the fertilization and then the development. So first let's discuss about gametogenesis. So as you all know, gametogenesis, what is gametogenesis? It is the process of formation and differentiation of haploid gametes, these are sperm and ova, from diploid germ cells by meiosis. Like in previous chapters, we have discussed meiosis is always linked with the gametogenesis. Why? Because during gametogenesis, haploid gametes are produced from the diploid parents. So that's why always meiosis is linked with the gamete formation or gametogenesis. So as we discussed, during gametogenesis, ova and sperms are produced. Hence, this gametogenesis is of two types. It is spermatogenesis, where the development of male sex cells called the sperms are formed in the gonads or the testes inside the seminiferous tubules, and just opposite, oogenesis. It is the development of female sex cells called ova or egg in the female gonads or inside the ovary. So here in this class we are going to focus on mostly the spermatogenesis, and here whenever we are discussing about spermatogenesis, which topics we are covering, that is like the sexual cycle in case of males of different organism, like we have discussed about the seasonal breeders, continuous breeders. So there we will discuss about this reproductive organs and their function, and then we are going to discuss about the hormonal control during the process of spermatogenesis when we are discussing in human being, and then we will discuss about the spermatogenesis, then the structure of the sperm. So let's start with the before starting spermatogenesis, we must know how this process of that reproductive cycle or spermatogenesis or formation of the testes is there in different type of organism, males of different type of organism. So there are mostly three categories of organism. So let's start up that in first category of organism, whom we are telling the seasonal breeders. So seasonal breeders are the animals, those who are having a specific breeding season. Always they are not breeding. So why it is in a specific season, and how the testis and how the formation of the sperm is occurring in this case of seasonal breeders. So let's see. In seasonally breeding animals like bat, that llama, many others are there, the testes enlarge, become functional and descend into scrotum only in the breeding season, and in the non-breeding season the testes remain reduced, non-functional, and ascend into the abdomen. So what we got, that in seasonal breeders only in the breeding season testis is outside the body, means in the abdominal cavity it is descended, but when in the non-reproductive season it is non-functional, its size is reduced as well as it is ascent. Then the second category, in case of human being, lion, bull, horses, etc., here the testes, these are extra abdominal, and we know that why it is extra abdominal, because for maintaining a proper temperature which is lower than the body temperature for the formation of the sperm. So in this case it is extra abdominal, and it is not depending on the season, it is always like that, and they are the continuous breeders. But here another category of organisms are there, like in case of elephant, dolphin, whale, seal. Here the testes are permanently intra-abdominal. It means what you were guessing here, that in case of intra-abdominal means the sperms are produced in the normal body temperature. Just into above category, whatever we have discussed, in case of human being or in case of llama, there the sperms is produced lower than the body temperature, but in the last category the sperm is produced just in the normal body temperature. So like this, the males of different organisms, they are having different type of sexuality and sexual cycle. Then when we are going to discuss about the spermatogenesis in human being, it is must that we know about the hormonal control, how it is affecting the functioning of the reproductive organs by the hormones, how it is controlled. So let's see how the hormonal control is occurring for the human males. So during this process, the growth, maintenance and functions of the male reproductive organs are under the hormonal control. So how it is controlled? So let's see. Students, carefully you must see, because this part is given at the last of our NCERT book. After the gametogenesis, spermatogenesis, this part is written. But before spermatogenesis we must understand the hormonal control, that how hormone it is activating or taking part in the process of or initiating the process of spermatogenesis or formation of the sperm. So firstly, the GnRH. What is GnRH? That is gonadotropin releasing hormone. It is secreted by the hypothalamus. It stimulates the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. So what the anterior lobe of pituitary gland is doing? It is secreting LH, which we are telling the luteinizing hormone, and FSH, that is the follicular stimulating hormone. So in male, this LH is called interstitial cell stimulating hormone, that is ICSH. Again I am repeating, this LH luteinizing hormone, in case of male it is called as the ICSH. It means it is interstitial cells stimulating hormone, because it stimulates interstitial cell, means which cell? These are the Leydig cells of the testis, to secrete androgen. So what is that androgen? That is the maleness hormone, which we are telling the testosterone. Then on the other hand, FSH stimulates Sertoli cells of the testis to secrete an androgen binding protein, that is ABP, that concentrates the testosterone, and we can say it is activating the production of the sperm or helping spermatogenesis. And not only this, the Sertoli cell, it is also secreting one protein hormone, that is called inhibin, which suppresses FSH synthesis, means it is helpful in the feedback mechanism. Got it? So like this, the hormonal control of male reproductive system is there, which is influencing the appearance of the secondary sexual characters as well as the formation of the and nourishment of the sperm. Then next we are going to discuss about the mechanism of spermatogenesis. So let's see the mechanism of formation of the sperm or the process of spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is a continuous process and is completed in about 74 days. and this spermatogenesis is divided into two parts, means this total spermatogenesis occur in two phases. First one, that is formation of the spermatid, and after formation of the spermatid, then the metamorphosis of the spermatid is there into sperm or spermatozoa. So first event under the spermatogenesis we are going to discuss, that is formation of the spermatid, and it occurs under three phases. In our NCERT book it is not mentioned directly, all the things are given compiled, but we must understand how the process step by step formation of this sperm is there. So here we are discussing about the formation of the spermatid and the three phases by which the spermatids are produced. So before that we must know that inside the testes seminiferous tubules are there. Inner lining of the seminiferous tubules, it is having the germinal layer, and this germinal layer contains the germ cell and the sperm mother cell, and they are dividing and then forming the sperms. So whenever we are discussing about the first phase of this formation of the spermatid, that is multiplication phase, followed by growth phase and then the maturation phase. So again I repeat that the formation of spermatid, first step of spermatogenesis, here three phases are there. First one, multiplicative phase, second, growth phase, and third, maturation phase. So let's know about the multiplicative phase. So in multiplicative phase, the events are primary or primordial germ cells of the germinal epithelium of seminiferous tubules undergo rapid mitotic division. It means in this phase, the germ cell which are present in the inner lining of the seminiferous tubules, they are dividing and redividing by mitotic division, not meiosis. You must note down. Firstly, the germ cells are dividing and redividing by mitotic division. Here only they are increasing the number of the cell. So when they are increasing the number of the cell, here question arises that why they are increasing the number of the cell? These cells form diploid and round sperm mother cells called the spermatogonia with a prominent nucleus. Now firstly the cells are divided by which division? Mitotic division. Their number it is increasing, and the cells are the diploid cell because they have undergone mitotic division, and they are functioning as sperm mother cell. So here question arises that all the cells which are divided, they are behaving as a sperm mother cell or not? No. See, here what happened? The germ cell which are present inside the seminiferous tubules, they are of two types mostly. They are type A spermatogonia, and then it is having type B spermatogonia. Type A spermatogonia and type B spermatogonia. So type A spermatogonia keep dividing mitotically to produce more number of spermatogonia. They act as stem cell. Means what the A type cells are doing, germ cell? They are maintaining the number of the germ cell, the layers of the germ cell. But just opposite, the B spermatogonia cells, they are entering into the next phase, or they are behaving as the sperm mother cells. So who are behaving? The B cells. But the A type cell germ cells are, they are stem cells, they are dividing, redividing, and we can say B cells are originated from the A type of germ cells. Then after the division and redivision of the germ cell, then the formation of the sperm mother cell, then next, that is the spermatogonium, they are entering into the growth phase. So as the name of the phase is growth phase, means only the diploid spermatogonia is absorbing nutrients and its size it is increased. So here what is the event? The spermatogonium increases in size about twice. Got it? So it accumulates lots of nutritive material and replication of the DNA is occurred, because till now here the meiotic division is not there, only meiosis. Here the only mitotic division is there, meiosis has not occurred till now. So if question will be there, the spermatogonium, it is having the 2n number of chromosome, and then after growth phase it accumulates lots of nutrient and it changed into the primary spermatocyte. So what is the ploidy or the chromosome number of primary spermatocyte? It is 2n. Again I repeat, carefully listen students. During the formation of the spermatid, firstly the spermatogonium, they are produced by the mitotic division of the primordial germ cell. Then the spermatogonium, which are diploid in nature, enter into growth phase where they accumulate the food and their size it is increased, and they are called as the primary spermatocyte. So primary spermatocyte having 2n number of chromosome. So next the primary spermatocyte will enter into the phase that is called the maturation phase. So in this maturation phase, which events are there? Let's see. The diploid primary spermatocyte undergoes meiosis 1, because meiosis having two parts, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So first it will go meiosis 1 to produce two haploid cells called the secondary spermatocyte, and each containing 23 chromosomes. So it is a normal type of meiotic division. That's why firstly 2 haploid cells are produced, and then in meiosis 2 4 haploid spermatids are produced. So you must remember the name. After the growth phase, in the growth phase it is primary spermatocyte. Then in maturation phase, primary spermatocyte undergoes maturation phase, and here it is divided by the meiotic division to form meiosis. After meiosis 1 it is secondary spermatocyte, then after meiosis 2 it is spermatids, which means 4 number of spermatids are produced. Now here it completes the first process, that is the formation of the spermatid. After the formation of the spermatid, then the spermatids are round structure having the nucleus, cell like they are visible, but the structure of the sperm is different. So it has to go for a phase of metamorphosis. That's why after formation of the spermatid, next phase is spermiogenesis, means the transformation of spermatid into spermatozoa. So in this case what happened? The large spherical nucleus present inside this spermatid, it becomes smaller by losing water and usually changes its shape into elongated structure. Firstly, during that division or formation of the spermatid is having a round structure of nucleus, but during transformation or spermiogenesis, firstly the round nucleus changes into elongated shape by dehydration or by losing water. Then the Golgi body or Golgi complex condenses into a cap like structure at the tip or front part of the nucleus, that is called the acrosome. Students, you can follow the diagram. Then nucleus and the acrosome combined form the head of the developing sperm, while the cytoplasm with mitochondria and centriole move down and form a cylindrical middle piece behind the head. Then two centrioles of the middle piece develop axial filaments which are bunched into a single thread and extend behind in the form of a long vibratile tail, which is giving motility to the sperm. So after the spermiogenesis, then here the spermatid is transformed into a complete sperm, and in the spermatid stage it was looking round normal cell like, but now it is transformed into elongated vibrant motile, that sperm or spermatozoa. And after formation of this spermatozoa, the sperm head is embedded in the Sertoli cell or attached with the Sertoli cell. Why? To get nourishment from the Sertoli cell. So when it matures, that time what happened? The sperm head, it is released from the Sertoli cell and then finally released from the seminiferous tubules. And this releasing of the sperm from the seminiferous tubule, that process is called spermiation. So here the process of spermiation is there. So what are the key words we are getting? That spermatogenesis, then it is having formation of the spermatid, the next one the spermiogenesis, and finally we are getting the spermiation. So sometime you are getting the question, what is the difference between spermiogenesis and spermiation? So spermiogenesis is the transformation of spermatid into spermatozoa. But what is spermiation? Spermiation is releasing of the sperm from the seminiferous tubule, where the sperm heads are released from the Sertoli cell and then they are ready to release from the seminiferous tubule. So this is about the process of spermatogenesis in human being.